Hello and welcome to American Truck Simulator with me, Kevin Sawyer. Hope you guys and girls are all well and enjoying your day. What are you up to? Right, I've got yet another Mack for you guys and girls to have a look at. Now, this isn't exactly brand new. It's been out for a while now. And of course, I will leave a link in the description down below. Some of you guys and girls may have think, oh, okay, I've played with this thing, it is great, but there's, you know, the little problems here, there, and everywhere, especially when it comes to the sound. I'm going to go into that in a minute, because I've got something special lined up with this in mind. It's from the Lord of Sound himself, Kriechbaum. He's just recently done a mod for this truck which gives this thing an epic sound to it. I think Sinky will like this truck. I don't know if he'll like it with the new sound or just as a standard truck, but it is a newer truck, as you guys and girls can see, and Sinky can see, and he's more keyed for the newer truck look. I can get the template for this, so if he does like it I can probably put his logo on it or whatever if he needs to. But the details for this thing are great. You know, the details on the outside are pretty good. Looking at the real life truck itself, which is the Mack Anthem, which this is the Mack Anthem, it looks pretty much spot on. The details again, it's pretty good. Steps are good. It doesn't have the airlines as yet, and even the modder admits that this is still he's still got some work to do on this. So he might find when you come to download it, there's a newer version available, which, you know, has fixed and addressed some of the issues which I'm going to probably go over. But the details on the outside are very good. Let's just jump into the truck itself. Jump in. And details on, although it's a bit dark in here, you can't see. I'll go into it in the shop in a sec. The details throughout in the inside are very nice as well. There is a little bit of like work that needs to be done just to polish it a bit, but other than that, it looks pretty epic. The thing that kind of winds me up a bit is the gauges. They seem a bit on the bright side, but even though the power is off, but that's just the only thing that really winds me up about this. The cab's a bit dark inside. Right, if you download this truck on its own without the Kriechbaum sounds, you'll find it's going to sound a bit different to a, well, it's going to sound get my teeth and get this is the bass sound for it. That's what I'm trying to get at. This is the bass sound for it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my keys and just show off my little key rings there, and throw them in, turn the ignition on. It doesn't sound too bad. It sounds a bit like a Euro engine to me. Sounds a bit, could even be a DAF engine, or hate to say it, an Iveco. Yeah, I'd say that's an Iveco engine, and that's what lets, one big thing that lets this down is the sounds. And even the modder agrees that he's going to add Kriechbaum's sounds into the later version of this. So if you're playing on this and you've already got this truck, I recommend bringing the Kriechbaum sounds in. I'll bring them in a second, but anyway, let me fire it back up again. Let's jump back in it. On the inside sound, again, it sounds like a typical Euro engine to me. Just get the brake alert to come on. Standard in-game brake alert. Right. Back up onto this. Right. Turn the engine off. Jump on into the well, first of all, before I do that, I'll show you guys where you find it. Once you've downloaded this truck and installed it into your mods folder, and there is a little bit of a latency issue on this. I think something to do with the texture ring. You might find it's a bit sluggish when you introduce this into your onto your game. And anyone on a lower spec PC, you might find, because of it might have a bit of a frame rate drop on it if you've got too many mirrors on it. But anyway, I digress. So if you go into truck dealers, no, that's trailer dealer, Kevin Numpty, truck dealer, you should find it in Volvo. So let's just buy online. Just to show you guys, there you go, and it appears. If you've got other Volvos in, you might need to put this on higher priority just so then it appears, depending on what your dealership can handle. But anyway, let me just go into the shop and then show you the options you've got. Right, so if we go through this way, so go from smallest to largest. So the smallest sort of is a sleeper with a flat top, not bad looking. This kind of reminds me a lot of the Pinnacle, actually. Very similar concept to the Pinnacle. I don't know if it's the same model that made it. Next one, he's got the sort of mid roof, flat top, mid roof of round top, and high roof with a humongous sleeper. Chassis, right, looks like you've got a 6x4 configuration with a 220 gal tank. Again, that's standard axle, and then you've got one with 620 lift axle, 620 short. It's going to tell me it's going to change out again. 6x4, very short. Again, this is only really recommended for the small chassis. 6x4, slightly longer. And 6x4, slightly shorter again. Engines. Now, this is before the modding introduced, but the you've got, if I just deselect them ones, so then it gives you an idea. These are all the standard engines you get in it, and that's the if I confirm that order. Oops, no, we're back. Yeah, if I just quickly confirm that and come out, I can change all this back in a sec. That's how I wanted it, but again, this is just the standard. Doesn't have any generic air horn by sound, it's just one air horn. Right. Turn the engine off. And then let's upgrade everything again. Right, so we've covered them. I'm going to go over this lift axle again like I had it initially. Find it again. There we go. Cool. With the high rifle super. And then again, that's your engine options. You can, if you've got the NH like mod set up, you can activate that, and it does give it a different engine sound. Gives it a better sound. No air horn. Oh, hang on. Yeah, there is an air horn. There we go. Cool. Then go back into shop again. Sorry, it's going to drag on a little bit. Sorry guys, I'll apologise in advance. So you can select, if you have those NH series engines, you can select a slightly better sounding without using Kriechbaums. Gearbox selections, again, if I take out the Cummins range for the gearbox engines, you got a selection of gearboxes there. 14, 13, 18 speeds, Eaton Fullers. Again, if you introduce it, it gives you a bit more gearbox selections to deal with. Interiors, there's a couple different interiors. In fact, while we're in here, because it's better light, you can see how well detailed including a little microwave up there, and TV, how well detailed the interior is. You know, I think it's pretty good. It just needs a bit of a polish around the steering wheel mark, and I think around the edges, but other than that, it looks pretty good. Oh, sorry, I've skipped a step here. So standard, you've got standard sort of like grey interior, vintage grey interior, so it's a bit darker with a bit of an oaky kind of panel. Then tan interior, and then again tan interior with like the wood grain panel. Again, personal preference to what you want to go for. Again, it's up to you. Colour options, you've got all the standard colours. You can customise your colour if you wish as well. We've got metallic options there. Does the metallic options work? Works on the first one. Works on the second one. Does it work on the third one? Yep, works on the third one too. So that all works. And you've got these little colour options here which you can play about with. Heavy haul kind of configuration. Then that, then that, then that, and then that as well. Again, personal preference, whatever you wish. Options. There is a fair few options on here, so again, I'm trying to go for what I can. I might end up glossing over some of this. You do get a bumper, if you so wish. You can add the bumper on there. Bull bar. There's two different bumpers. You can either have the standard with plastic or standard with chrome finish, and then you've got these which gives it like a little weird sort of like stripe. I don't know and I don't know why you want that on there. Oh, it just doesn't float my boat. On the top dot here, you've got, I guess the same thing again. Done, cut that. That's, yeah, covered all that. So go up to, on here, you can add the little quarter fenders as well, if you wish. On there, let's go for the bumpers first. You can have that as chrome or paint again, or plastic, sorry, chrome or plastic finish. Chrome again for this one, or plastic again, depends on what your personal preference is. Again, chrome on that, or plastic on that again, and then chrome or plastic Mack if you wish. And then up here you can either have the silver or gold Mack, depends on what your personal preference is. Let's see what these were. Oh, that were the quarter fenders, and the other dots are not to do with it. Right, okay. Over here you can either have that on or off, the little chrome Mack on the side there. I'll bring it back up so you guys can see it there. Little chrome Mack. This top dot should be the wind deflector. You can either have it on or off. Again, personal preference prevails. And these, they're the quarter fenders again. I think they're covered on each side. A lot of dots to go through. This one covers the, you can either have it as chrome or plastic. I prefer the chrome. Then you can have the chrome around that. Again, personal preference if you want that, but I don't. What does that do? It says 3M bumper. Oh, I see. That brings up a little stripe around the side here if you're wanting it. 3 m bumper, I guess. Ooh, does it? It's not come off again. Ah, a lower one. I've gone too far ahead of myself here. Where did we get to? Here. Here. Just to say, it's quite a few different ones to choose from. You can have, what's that one? Oh, that's, again, that's down to the doors on there. As you say, because they all kind of clash in with each other, it's difficult to ascertain what's what. But you can have that in chrome or in paint if you wish. See what it looks like in chrome. That's not too bad in chrome. What's that one? That's that one again. What's that one? Ah, that's the other side, is it? Oh yeah, right. I can just about see it on the trim there. The door trim, you can have that in chrome or paint or plastic again. And this one, it's the door trim along the side here. You can either have it chrome like that or chrome standard or not at all. If you get rid of it, it completely gets rid of it altogether. This one is a visor, so you can either have, it's this top visor here it refers to, this little one here. You can have it as Mack normal, which I prefer, or you can have like a Peru one. I prefer the standard. And then the top visor you can have chromed, painted, chromed, but I prefer the painted. Metal fenders, what's that relate to? Oh, that's the top fenders. Now, if you have these, the side mirror around here becomes a bit redundant. You'll see that when I get in the cab in a sec. In fact, I'll show you quickly now. I'll show you, look, when you add the side mirror, you can hardly see it. So it's if you've got these little chrome things, then it's pointless actually having that. And where did we get to? That's metal fenders. Horn accessories, they appear on the side here, so it works with light mods as well. I was going to stick some horns on it. There's only one type of MH horn available for this, Mack MH. You can also add the lights on the top if you wish. Again, I decided not to go for the lights this time around. Let's try and find some of these dots around here. Which ones have we covered and which ones we haven't? That's the one we've covered. Get rid of that. That gives you the little line there. And then you can select whatever. You've got two different options there. You can select that one or select that one. Go to Sideskirts. You can either have that on there. I choose not. Standard. You can have it with the little flare on it if you wish. Then it's got several different options here. You can have it standard, none at all, or just the front end if you wish. Again, it's up to you. I prefer that configuration myself. Let's cover that, put that back on. I think all these dots are pretty much the same thing again. Yep, on this side. Back dot here. Exhaust options have double or single. On this back dot here, you can the fender options. You can either have this type, this type, this type, which I prefer actually. This type, which actually doesn't look too bad. It's not too bad. It kind of gives it a bit of a European look to it. You know, they're like kind of like wind deflectors, I guess, or water deflectors. But I just prefer. Which ones are they? Them ones. That's ones I prefer. Now there is a thing with the wheels and tyres here. If I show you, where are they? I don't know if I deselect. That one, 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 and that one. Oh, it gives me no options then. There we go. Right. So, if you go, you've got the standard tyres there, and then if you go for dynamic, there's like a if I go, hang on, if I select the standard Mack Chrome Mack, see it's got this weird, I don't know if it's actually, yeah, just make sure, yeah, no, it's just that. It's got this weird sort of like little issue going on around the edge of the wheel, the tyre. I'm probably better off if I show you it on the front because it's a bit more apparent on the front. If I select standard Mack, can you see that? It's not too bad, but it's I don't know, it just looks a bit odd. I just find that when you using these, this is my personal preference, I just don't like them. They just don't seem to, something doesn't seem to be matching right. It's hard to explain. So that's my personal opinion. So I'd say stick to the standard stuff. And that's what I was planning on doing. On standard, leave that off. I'm giving this like a work truck look. That was the initial plan with this. Go on the back again. Standard. They're good. They're good. Yeah, all good. That's all good. Cool. Colour scheme. I think that covers most of the dots anyway. Covered a great deal of dots. Now going interior stuff. Right, there's only one wheel. It says two, but they look identical. It's like Kenworth Grey or Kenworth Exclusive, and there's no difference between the two. I don't see any between the two at all. So, but it does support the old Cecil mods as well as everything else. So you can stick your little spinner on if you needs to, which I'll probably would do. I'll stick that one on. What else? That's the mirror option. Oh yeah, might have forgotten about that on the outside. So if I go back on the outside, that there, you've got this sort of duty ones, plastic basically, painted or exclusive. I prefer the painted. That's again my personal preference. On the inside you can use, or you've got the option for radio. You can hang your dangly on here if you wish. Again, that's just the fenders that appear on the side, I think. Yeah. And then you've got, again, you can put your where is it? Is it here? No. Okay, that's the visor. And that's the mirror options. Deflector. That's the Mack. For the silver Mack. That. There's no other options inside the cab, but you can see it's again quite nice. Don't see anything you can put onto the dashboard. It's got. I'll take that engine out. Just put the biggest Cummins in. Let's go back to the paint job. Paint job I had was. In fact, I'm just gonna go to colour, just to save time rather than muck around. Just stick that on. Actually, let's go with my new colour. There we go. And let's tidy everything up around here. No, I don't want a 3D bumper. I want them in chrome. That in chrome. That in chrome. What was that? Chrome Mack. Yeah, chrome Mack. That all in chrome. That looks good. And I want, was it deflector? Metal deflector. Yep. Cool. Looking good. Looking very good. Confirm. Switch that. And then that. Right. Let's raise the axle up. In fact, it's not a problem because I'm going to be coming out of this. But as you can see, I'll turn the engine off. Show you all the lights. You've got the main lights. There's the side lights, main lights, and then, oops. Try that again. Then you've got the full lights, which light up on the road pretty well, and come up like that. And then you've got hazards on, and then round the back, hazards. Reversing light. Pretty cool. Right, I'll pause it here and then well, actually, I'll take you through it. So I'll shut this off. Save the game at this. Should auto save. So if I go to profiles, where are profiles? Now they've moved everything around. It's there. Save automatically, please. Yep. And again, I will leave a link in the description down below for the video which I found this from, which is Kriechbaum's YouTube site. I'll leave a link in the description for that, so you can have a watch of that and then download the folder if you wish. So, oops, I was meant to. Why is it? No, I was meant to go back in. Sorry, peeps. Right, go into Mod Manager. Once you've installed the Kriechbaum's one, you'll see the Mack Anthem here. All you need to do is add it and just make sure it's above the Mac itself. It needs to go above it. Can't emphasize it enough. You need to have it above the Mac. Don't have it below, have it above. Because if you have it below, it won't work. It can sit below your any other sound mods like what I've got there. Now if I go in, continue game and hope and pray it doesn't crash. Shouldn't do, didn't crash last time round. And then jump back in. And it's raining. It always does that when you add a mod or take away a mod. It rains. Right. Why does it always rain on me? Because I keep on adding mods. Right, anyway. Fire it back up. So that's the standard horn, there's the air horn. Right. You can see the frame rate drops there. Again, if I what one is it? Is it F1 brings up the? Nope, not that one. Might be tab. Nope. Yeah. I know one of them does. F9. No, I forget which one it is. I've got that problem now. I don't know if that's the latest update or what. I'm sure which was tab control. No. No, one of them does. One of them brings up the. And my track IR stopped. Why is my track IR stopped? No. That's right, peeps. No. I know one of these also. It's F9. F9. Right, cool. Let's F3 that. Let's put it back to navigation. And what was it? No, F2 get rid of them. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's this mod that's causing that or it's just something else. But mirrors seem to have disappeared. I don't know what that's all about. Let's reset track IR because it's a bit derpy now after all that. But now if I press the brake in, different brake sounds, slightly different brake sounds. Different warning sound. Wipers. Let's reset the computer, see if that crashes it. No, it doesn't. Well, the gauges do tend to work as well. There's the RPM, speedo down there, brake balancing and brake pressure there, and these over there also work as well. It's all pretty funky. Let's go and grab a quick job because I've rambled on long enough. I've not got my trailer on. Just mix it up a bit, and let's find a nice very quick job that's literally just a stone's throw away. I don't think I'm going to complete this. That's the shortest run I can find. Brakes on, set brake off. Jump over that curb. Let's try that again. It does float fairly easily, actually. You just got to get it in the sweet spot. Again, it's sort of like just off of 1,800. In fact, I've just realised what I've done wrong. So before I go and do that, crash the truck trying. These guys are all laughing their heads off. I just don't like that Mack. The reason I don't like the Mack on the top of the screen where the visor is. And there's one reason only. It's because with traffic lights, when you come up to traffic lights, it always seems that one of the letters obscures the traffic light. No matter how much you try not to let it happen, it seems to happen. So I'm just going to quickly change that out. Where are you? There. No. Confirm. Right. Bring the lift back, pull back up again. Just quickly shut the engine off so you guys can hear it. Certainly sounds nice. Parking brake set again. Oh yeah, because I came out of the game. Or, not out of the game, but came out of the truck. Right. Turn the wipers on. That's better. Second time lucky. Green. Well, it's not green, but it's red, but it's right on red. Yeah, it does float okay. It's just got to get the sweet spot. It's between 1,800, roughly 2,000 to get the perfect sweet spot on it. And I'm speeding. Nothing new there. But the Kriechbaum sound is definitely what gives this thing the edge. If I just reviewed this without the Kriechbaum sound, I'd probably would say I would never drive it again. Purely because it's a little bit twitchy, I find. You'd have to really concentrate on this thing when driving it. You can't just chill, well, relax and just cruise along. You find it gets a bit twitchy once it gets over sort of like 50. You're constantly having to readjust your steering to stop you from drifting. Turn here. Pick up my job. Hit those speed bumps like they're not even there. Freight market. Can I customize this trailer? I can. Oh, Can I have doubles? Yeah, just for change. Let's pull some doubles. And take job. It's over there. I tried the doubles on ETS2 the other day for the first time. I've never played with doubles on there yet. I've done it once. Because of the load, you're limited on where you can take the trailers. Or because I did, is it a job from Norway into just like the edge of Germany, and it was like, that's it. You can't pick up any more jobs. Engine off. And I was like, oh, right, okay. But this is a bit more, you've got a bit more options available for you. I know you have to be in a certain state to buy these trailers. I forget which state it is, but this seems to have more options on doubles trailers where you take your loads from. Let's see if it pulls off of the... Holds the parking brake. And the trailer brake holds. As you guys and girls know, if you're long-term subscribers, you know I prefer driving the older rigs to the newer rigs. But with this sound pack in it, this thing, I do like driving this thing. Like, it's a bit, it's not one of those ones you can relax while driving. It's a bit twitchy, so especially at higher speeds, you find yourself having to concentrate a bit more. No one's going to let me out. I'm going to have to bully my way, I think. No one's coming this way, so I can see. What did I not cover? Because I got distracted. What have I not covered? The steering wheel options. Right, so front auxiliary on. The mirrors do work. They are adjustable. Oh, that's the small left. See, I don't know if you can see it because of the rain, but it is adjustable. If I adjust it upwards, you might be able to see it pan upwards and pan downwards. And that same with that. That's adjustable. If you need to adjust it, you can. both right and left. That's about perfect for me. Same for the right. Same applies. Steering wheel, these options will work, so you can go back and forth if you need to. That does pan up and down, and that does come back and forth as well. It's just very marginal. Let's reset them. No. It's because I pressed the, or tabbed out again potentially. It always does that when you tab out again. It does when you're using the SQRS. Anyway. Is that as fast as speed when it's right as it is? It's just the rain is slowly stopping. But you guys might see it as I'm going around the corners. You might see it starts getting. It's not so bad at the moment because he's got a heavier trailer on the back. It gets a little bit on the twitchy side. You have to concentrate. You can't just nod off and let the truck drive itself. It's not too bad with this heavier trailer. It seems to be alright. But I had my standard trailer off of it. On it, sorry, when I did the first test on this. I'm speeding. Let's put the Jake on so you guys and girls can hear it. Quite quiet on the outside, inside the truck. It's more louder on the outside. In fact, let's do a few outside shots. So you guys can hear the sound. Lights off now, I think. See what I mean about having to twitch it constantly, right to left? Back on. Right, let's put the cruise control on. See, as soon as I went over 50, 60-ish, it starts getting really twitchy then. There we go. Even with the lift axle down, it's still twitchy. I tried it with both. Just for you guys ask. Did you try with the lift axle down? Yeah, I did. Mind you, going quite quick around these corners doesn't help, but it just, I find even on a straight bit of road, over 55 towards 60, it starts to get really twitchy. And you're constantly having to do that with your wheel just to keep yourself straight. You're right when you're slow. But again, that's sort of a generic thing for the any standard ATS truck. So I'm wondering if he's based this off of the base the chassis or base the physics off of a standard in-game truck. I'm just guessing. I could be way off the mark here. Let's turn the engine brake off. But because I've rambled on long enough, and this has probably gone on way over half an hour, and I apologise about that. I'll leave it at that. But I hope you guys and girls enjoyed this mod showcase. And again, like I said, I will leave links in description down below for both this truck and Kriechbaum's video on the sound update that he's made for this truck. I would really, you know, he's not paying me or, you know, to say this. I'd really recommend using the sound update, and as the mod has already said, he's going to, in a future version, he's going to incorporate those sounds already in. So but again, like I said, I hope you guys and girls enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to like. If you didn't enjoy this for any reason, again, guys and girls, please feel free to dislike. But please leave a comment down below to why you didn't like it, so at least then I can try to improve in the future. If you know anyone else that may also enjoy watching this, guys and girls, please feel free to share. It helps me out a lot, and I don't mind you sharing. And if you're new to my channel, you'll see future episodes of this or anything else that I'm working on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Trailer, caught the trailer. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications bell, so then you are updated as soon as I upload the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. TTFN.